Once again, good morning, East Alabama, West Georgia, 5:35 a.m. on your Thanksgiving morning. National Weather Service office, Birmingham, Alabama, has issued a tornado warning now for portions of east central Alabama. This is going to be for a possible tornado that is just to the west of or northwest of Tallassee, Alabama. And this is going to be moving toward Tallassee. So tornado warning now in effect, and we are going to cover this for you. Let me get the verbiage of this up, and I'll just read this to you. The National Weather Service in Birmingham has issued a tornado warning for southeastern Elmore County in east central Alabama until 6 a.m. this morning. At 5:33 a.m., a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Emerald Mountain or near Wetumpka, moving to the east at 30 miles per hour. Now, this is radar indicated. So that is now a tornado warning in effect for Elmore County in east central Alabama, or central Alabama, moving into east central Alabama. And of course, Elmore County is and isn't in our coverage area, but Tallapoosa County certainly is. And this storm is going to be west-northwest of Tallassee. So tornado sirens are going off down there in Wetumpka, and they likely will be going off in Tallassee here shortly as well, if they're not already going off. So this is what we were concerned about. We don't have a widespread severe weather outbreak ongoing, but one or two of these storms have had the capability of going severe, and now we have one. This is the only tornado warning we have seen in the state of Alabama throughout the early morning hours, but the Weather Service now issuing that tornado warning for Elmore County. Let's see if we can look at a couple of different things here. First of all, let me zoom out and go back to Birmingham on this. We were looking at it from the Atlanta radar. Now let's go back to Birmingham. And let's go to the velocity. And so our tornado would be right here. And that's actually going to be a little bit southwest of Tallassee. And we're going to put this loop on. It's broadened out a little bit. It was much tighter. Right there, it was pretty tight, and it's definitely still there. This is in Elmore County. We're talking around County Road 135, Liberty Road, Rock Springs Road, County Road 106, Rifle Range Road, Chalk Hill Road, Wallahatchie Road, Redland Road. This is going to be east of Wetumpka, west of Tallassee, south of Highway 14, County Road 135. So this is probably going to slip just a little bit south of Tallahassee, maybe. It's going to be a close call for Tallahassee. The possible tornado, the radar indicated tornado, would be right there in that area where I've got that red circle on the screen. Now, this will not affect. Most of our counties in East Alabama. I mean, this is well south of Alexander City. It's south of Kalijah. This is going to be in the general area of Tallahassee. Maybe a little bit southwest of downtown Tallahassee, moving off to the east. So if you're in this area, I suggest that you go to your safe place, which would be the center of your home on the lowest floor. If you have a basement, that's where you want to be. If you don't have a basement, go to the center of the lowest floor on your home. A closet, a bathroom, good idea. Make sure that you carry items with you that will keep you safe, such as pillows and blankets. Hopefully you already have your safe place identified. And you know to carry things such as football helmets, baseball helmets, batting helmets, anything to protect your head. Make sure you have on hard-sole shoes. And get the family in that safe place. Even over here in Tallahassee, I would go ahead and take the course of least regret and go to my safe place. Even though I think this looks pretty broad right now, I would put the possible tornado in this general area. And it's moving something like this. So this is definitely going to move right over Tallahassee. So I'm just looking at some weather cameras in that area just to see if I can see anything. And so far I do not. Again, if you're just joining us, we're on the air live again this morning due to a tornado warning that has been issued by the National Weather Service out of Birmingham, Alabama. This is going to be a tornado warning for Elmore County. It's in effect until 6 a.m. I'll zoom back out and kind of give you the big picture. We still have a few showers in southern Chambers. We're pretty clear in Randolph and Clay, Talladega, Coosa. Most of Tallapoosa's in the clear, with the exception of this one tornado warning that's going to affect the extreme southern, that little boot down there in southern Tallapoosa County that on the extreme southern end. The possible tornado just west of Tallahassee moving to the east. We're going to see if we can look at this from the Montgomery radar. That's pretty close to the activity there. Let me see what the reflectivity looks like on that one while I'm here. Pretty noisy, but there certainly is rotation still showing. So we've got about let this loop through. Pretty significant right there. So we're waiting to see if what Birmingham's going to do here, waiting on an update from them. Yeah. Okay, so they're canceling the tornado warning now. So I was looking. You know, you got to trust what your gut's telling you. And I wanted to say that it looked like the thing was falling apart, but I'm not a meteorologist, folks. I'm a messenger from the National Weather Service. I just give you what they're telling us. That's what I do. But I've been doing this an awfully long time, and it looked like this was falling apart, and indeed it was. The Weather Service now has canceled the tornado warning. Right there is probably when the storm was at its best look, and that was at 5:44. So that was about 6-7 minutes ago, right just southwest of Tallahassee. And then from that point on, each scan, it just started losing. It started getting very broad. It came back right there, but then it fell apart again. So the warning has now been canceled for Elmore County. You folks in Tallahassee, the warning has been canceled. Though I wouldn't venture too far from my safe place until that area gets to the east of Tallahassee. I mean, it could flare back up, and I know the Weather Service is going to watch for that possibility very closely. But understand that this environment, basically along and south of the I-85 corridor, the environment down there is a little more conducive for severe weather because we've got a warm front that kind of does this number. Back here on the backside, the air is a little juicier. It's warmer down here versus the north side where it's cooler. So as these storms get closer to the I-85 corridor and certainly south of I-85, there is more energy to work with. The shear is a little bit better down there. And so, we could see a couple of these storms go severe or start rotating to the point to where warnings are valid. And that's what we've seen happen. We had one come out of Tallapoosa County, central Tallapoosa County, east central Tallapoosa County into Chambers about an hour ago that was showing rotation, though a warning never was issued on that storm. We did get a couple of special weather statements out of it, and then we had this complex in Tallapoosa County that did go severe with a possible tornado, and but it only lasted a couple of volume scans, and now the Weather Service has canceled the warning, and what's left of that storm is sitting pretty much on top of Tallahassee now as it moves off to the east. So you folks down here in Lee County, especially Russell, and even down into the greater Columbus area, you do need to pay attention to this line of thunderstorms. Even though it's broken, we could get one or two of these storms to go into rotation as it moves into more conducive atmosphere this morning along and south of the I-85 corridor. A couple of special weather statements over on the western side of the state. They are north of Thomasville, northeast of Thomasville, and also northwest of Jackson, Alabama. As that moves into southwest Alabama, we could see a couple of severe storms down there also. But if you're north of this line of storms, things are improving significantly this morning. The threat of severe weather has ended in most of our coverage counties across East Alabama and West Georgia, with the exception of that area right along I-85. There is still the possibility that you could see some strong thunderstorms over the next hour or two as this line continues to march off to the east and to the southeast. So once again, we're going to step aside. We'll continue to monitor this, and if we were to get more warnings, then we'll be right back, and we will continue with our coverage here on Dr. Don's Weather. Thank you for joining us this morning, and happy Thanksgiving to you.